Hello, I'm Budget YouTuber, and today I'm just going to give you a little tip on how you can light your videos for very cheap. Right, so today I'm just going to show you how you can light your videos without spending too much cash in a really simple, I would say cheap way. And most of these videos on the YouTube that are explaining how to do things, I think they don't really explain it in a cheap way. I've seen them say that, oh yeah, well, cheap solution to lighting is like £100 or £50. To me, that's not a cheap solution for lighting. I can get it done for cheaper than that. And as well as this, I have to say this video is not sponsored by anyone. Okay, so trust me entirely that this is a cheap way of doing it and not someone that's saying it's cheap when actually they're getting sponsored by Canon or something like that. Now, I haven't uploaded for many years. I uploaded one a few years ago and it actually did quite well. I didn't really realise, I didn't look at it after. I just thought I'd done a little video to help someone in how to make a gaming headset, and I think it got a few thousand views, so I decided, I thought of another way of something you could do on a budget, and I'll make another one, and who knows, I might make another one in the future. I must also apologise because I had my haircut this morning, but I've not yet trimmed my beard, so this is not my normal look. Normally I look much more trimmed and pristine. Also, I got a bloodshot eye. So I apologise about that in advance as well. It's just hay fever and I rubbed my eye and now it's got all bloodshot. So, you know, you're not going to be able to get any better than that, unfortunately. You're going to deal with a bloodshot eye. So anyway, this shot here is just a simple shot. I use my Canon 750D. You don't need a 750D. You don't need a lensed camera. I use a lensed camera. I just did a degree in videography and stuff like that. So that's what I'm trying to get for my career. So you don't need a 750D. This shot is a simple 750D with a standard kit lens, 18 to 55mm lens, and it's a simple YouTubey type shot. This isn't lit at all. Now, my bedroom's absolutely fine for lighting, really. I don't really need that much external lighting because I'm in the attic and I've got a window right across from me which just lights down onto me, so it actually creates not much shadow from where I am. Also, I've got spotlights above me, so if I want to light myself, I can just put the spotlights on. But some of you may not have that luxury of just nice lighting or nice natural lighting. And of course, sometimes I don't get this light if it's a little bit rainy. I did a video the other day where I was just talking to camera and it wasn't very good, and it kept going dark and light and dark and light. And sometimes you get that with sun. So when you're editing, it's a bit of a pain because you're going through and suddenly your video starts to go darker and then next minute it's lighter. So when you're cutting in between doing the YouTube type cutting, it doesn't come across that well. If you can't do that, then you can use your roof lights. Again, I always say this, it's not important what the shot looks like if what you're saying is very important or is very good. If you're not making YouTube videos because your lighting's not right or because your kit's not right, then just ignore that, honestly. It doesn't matter if your kit's not good if you're going to make quality content. That comes later on. You know, if you save up over birthdays and things and you want to buy a kit, that's fantastic, but you don't need it. But my cheap solution for lighting is quite simply one of these. Now this is a inspection lamp. Now you can get one of these from your local DIY shop or on Amazon. I got this off Amazon. I think it was £10 off Amazon. I've got two of these. You might want three if you want a backlight. Simple lighting is basically you want 3 lights. Now I'm using a bit of natural light and I use my roof light, so I don't really use 3, but I've got another one as well somewhere, but I'd mainly use 2 if I was to use this. 3 is a good way of doing it because you want light on either side here and then or light just in front of you, but you also want a light behind you to stop the shadow, because otherwise you can have a really harsh shadow on the wall. Another way of doing that is furthering yourself away from the wall, or you can do it if, for example, if you're not just using, I'm just using a plain white wall behind me. If you're not doing that, then you can put your light a little bit further away from you, from in front of you, and if you've got just a regular room behind you, it probably won't use too much shadow, or you might decide to keep the shadow if you think it looks cool. Now how these work is it's a pure and simple plug. You literally just plug it into your mains and it's just a light. They're built really for builders to use. They just plug them in and put them up, and it's just a nice bright light to put into a dark room if you're using one of those. Now the negatives of this compared to a proper lighting kit is if you use a proper lighting kit, you get to turn them up and turn them down on most of them. So say you want a less harsh light one day, you'll just turn it down and turn it up. and also you get filters with them. Now these aren't that. You have to buy the bulbs separate. So this is just a simple bulb, an LED bulb, which I bought from my local shop for not a lot of money, and that just works fine. Now the only problem is though that you can't control how much light is coming out, so you're going to have to make it further away from you sometimes if the light's not quite right. If it's too bright on you, you're going to have to put it further away just so it's not quite so strong, because sometimes if it's really strong you're too bright on your face. But it's a nice simple light, and for cheap, listen, 2 of these is 20 quid. A lighting kit, you're probably looking for 2 lights in a lighting kit, you're probably looking close to £100 on Amazon, or in one of your camera shops or something like that it'd be even more. So this is a cheaper solution of doing it. What I did buy just to diffuse some of the light is these. They're just little light diffusers. It spreads the light a little bit more and it stops it from being so harsh. You don't really need these, but I got a couple. I think these were only a few pound off of Amazon. I can't particularly give you links because I bought them quite a long time ago, but I'll give you a link below to a similar sort of inspection lamp, and I'll have a look at some filters as well, and I'll see if I can put those in as well. So these are really simple to set up really. They've actually got clips on, so they're kind of good if you've got tables or desks, you can clip them to them. And that's obviously good. That's why they call them inspection lamps, because builders will want to clip them onto, roofs and, bits of wood and stuff like that. So all you have to do is literally plug them in. Now after you've plugged them in, it should automatically come on, because that's how these inspection lamps work. And then you clip them onto anything you can find that does it. Maybe it's a table or the edge of your bed or whatever. And then you just test the light to check it's bright enough, or if it's too bright. And if it's too bright, then you move them further away just to make sure that it's not too bright on your face. And here's what it'll look like set up. Now this is the sort of shot I could go for. This has still got a bit of shadow behind me, as you can see right now. I've actually got one backlighting me at the minute. They're not ideal, they're not perfect. The light's probably a little bit bright at the minute, and I've got one bang in front of me. You can go for that. It's a simple way of doing it, but most people would, for example, get one of these and put them on one side, and get one of these and put them on the other side. But then you'd need a third one really for your backlight. This makes a different shadow. The further away you get, the less shadow you're going to get behind you. So if you point them at you like that, that's quite a nice full light. Bring them around the front a little bit, you sort of get a bit of shadow in at the side. So it really is just fiddling with them enough to get them until you get it how you like it. Put it below you and it's quite, you're going to get a harsh shadow on top of your head. Put it above you, you're going to get a harsh shadow below your brows and things like that. I normally like it either side. I don't mind a bit of shadow in the middle of my face when I make my videos. I've shut my blinds at the minute, so that's the reason that it's dark enough without the lights. But they're simple lights, and these can just direct the light sometimes the way you like it to go. If you want it to go away from you, for example, you just push one of them over to the side and it'll just direct it away from you. But it's a simple lighting solution. It's not the best way of doing it, but for 20 quid for a couple of these, it's better than buying a lighting kit for lots of people. Lots of people wonder as well if these are any good for short films, and for me they are. You might have to use things like bed sheets and things like that, but if lots of people buy like professional lighting kits and then use bed sheets to diffuse the light, or just use lamps and things like that, this is a good solution instead of a lamp or a natural light. Lots of old bulbs, they're like a yellowy light, so you can just use LEDs on these. Or you can use an older bulb as well. If you want a yellow light or a red light and things like that, you can buy different colour bulbs from your DIY stores. So they're a good solution. These LED ones as well don't warm up compared to the old bulbs, so you can just touch them and it's not hot. But yeah, it's a cheap solution compared to lighting. And I think they work pretty well. There's other solutions out there, and if you can afford it, a proper lighting kit is better. I haven't even got a proper lighting kit at the minute because I can't afford one. But the plan is to get one. But anyway, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope I've taught you something new about lighting. And if you like this video, please comment underneath. If you've got any questions, also comment underneath. Hopefully I'll answer them. And I may do one of these another time if I think of something good. And if you really do like it, and comment, say you want to see more, I have got other solutions for cheaper ways to be a YouTuber, because I do believe that lots of these videos that's like budget solution and things like that, they really aren't very budget like. You know, there's ones like budget cameras like 600, 700 quid, and people are going, oh, that's a steal. It's like, it's not a steal at all. You know, there's really is cheaper ways of doing it. And I always say this, the number one tip. I will end it, if I'm ever doing a video, I'll end it with the number one tip. The number one tip is, it does not matter about the equipment you have or the money you have. If you want to make YouTube videos and you have a little rubbish phone that can only do little bits of film, if you've got an old camcorder from 10 years ago, if you've got anything that films, film videos on that. You know, it really doesn't matter about how the quality you're doing it. If you've got more money and you want to spend it and create more quality, then do that. But honestly, the things you are saying and the things you are doing in the video is much more important than how it's shot. That's my opinion. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I may see you next time.